Welcome back to the Contributor Corner for Run Radio. We've got Chef Alessandro De Luca joining us from Italian Kitchen. Lots of information about real Italian food. What do you have today?
Oh, today I have, the answer of $1 million. Are you sitting? Hold your chair.
Okay, I'm holding.
Tell you a truth that is gonna make you fall from the chair.
Okay.
Italian food does not really exist.
What?
I think exactly. There is no such a thing as Italian food.
Then what is it?
Every single region have different recipes. Every single region created something that is look like, taste like, has almost the same ingredients, but not so much. Just to give you an example, super simple. So pecorino, you heard of pecorino, what we call pecorino romano. We call it romano in the US. Okay, pecorino is called like that because pecora, the milk of pecora, that is sheep, is you make the cheese. And so pecorino is just like sheep milk cheese. Okay, you call it as romano because the one that came here was the one from around Rome. But there is a pecorino toscano and there is a pecorino sardo. They are all the same pecorino, but they're made in so much different. The recipe itself is so much different. The time they have to mature is so much different. So they are technically the same kind of cheese, but it's not the same cheese. So it's a different thing. And also, one of the fun things within the same region, Toscana, they have pecorini that are even more specific. And so there is a thing called pecorino di Pienza. There is a little tiny place that makes his own pecorino. So as you see, there is not a pecorino italiano. There is the pecorino, just like the pasta. Pasta, people think, oh, Italian pasta is tagliatelle, pasta with eggs. Okay? No. Pasta made with egg and flour is typical from the north part of Italy. The south part of Italy use semolino and water. So two complete mindset, two complete different kind of pasta. But you think of pasta and pasta is all the same. I mean, there are more than 350 shapes of pasta, and they are all regional. So every single region have developed different shape for the sauce that they were going to use with that pasta.
Interesting.
I mean, if you think it's ridiculous. We had too much time on our hands, those 5,000 years of history. We had time to develop stuff. Another fun thing is, I was born in 73, so I'm old, really old. So when I was 4 or 5, I was going around with my mother to buy, groceries to go home. And back then, in the 70s, there were still, the little shop with mom and pop. Okay, around where we were, considering my parents were from Sicily, everyone was still speaking dialect. And so one of the funny things is that I learned the shape of bread in dialect before knowing how it's called in Italian. And still now, there are pieces of bread that you can only call with the dialect name because there is no Italian name for that shape. And every single city, every single region has a different shape and a different name for that bread. It's not just bread, okay? I mean, in Torino, we have la biova, in Milano, they have la michetta, in Sicily, they have la mafalda. Every single place where you go, you have a different set of bread. So is it Italian bread? Yes. But again, there is no Italian bread. When you think of Italian bread, nothing should come to your mind because there is so much variety. The same with pizza. You think, oh, pizza. You guys invented pizza. There must be one pizza. No. Even there, I have to stop you. There is not just like one pizza. There is the pizza that you think of, it's in Naples, but as long as you go up and down in Italy, the pizza in Naples has thick, the cornicione, the thing around is really thick, and the pizza is thin. If you go to Torino, the pizza is totally different. It's all thin. There is no much cornicione around. Okay, and if you go to Rome, they don't eat that much pizza. They have what they call pizza romana. That is totally different. And you have focaccia, where places they didn't have pizza because I mean, tomatoes was not something common up north.
Oh.
So people, they have focaccia. That is just one. People in the South, they make 2 slices of bread dough and they put stuff inside, and that's called a schiacciata. So every single place has different kind of thing, because the evolution of food follow the evolution of the people, follow what was available, what was not available. The Romans were everywhere, but every single time where they discovered something different, when they start meeting new people, they were bringing up these new ingredients, and the different region started breeding and growing different stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous, but when you see riso arborio, is the joke that I always make. Riso arborio is the normal rice that you use to make rice, right? Yeah, Arborio is a city that is 45 minutes away from Torino. There is a long city that gave the name to rice, because that was found around, was brought to that region, and that city developed that kind of rice. What do you think?
I think that's neat. I think that's a good takeaway, though, for anybody that likes a dish. If they're visiting Italy, they need to make sure they know what region it's from, and be sure to take note.
I mean, if we have still time, do we still have time?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a funny story. For example, if anybody who go to Tuscany for the first time, and they go to Florence for the first time, and they stop at the restaurant to eat, normally the bread is without salt. Okay,
Okay.
that is, and it's always been like that. There is a reason why their bread is without salt. I mean, I have to confess my ignorance. I always thought because their salumi, their salami and prosciutto and stuff like that is so salty that they need a vessel that is a little bit less salty to, counteract it. It's not. It comes from a feud between the city of Florence and the city of Pisa. Pisa had the right to sell salt everywhere in Tuscany, and they were in a feud with the city of Florence because the city of Florence wanted to conquer them. So they put an embargo on salt. And Florence decided, we're talking about the 1200, okay? They decided to make, you know what, we're not giving them anything. We're just going to make the bread without salt. So they changed the recipe. And from then till now, it became such a normal thing that nobody's going to think about changing in any way the recipe. That's what it is. Does it taste good? It's debatable. But it's what they are used to. It's tradition. You don't change tradition.
Good stuff. All right. Thanks so much. Be sure you're following Italian Kitchen and Chef Alex De Luca. You can learn more at runradio.net.